All right, folks, I think we're back. I think I'm here. Are we here? Is this real? Unfortunately, StreamYard made two streams because sometimes what happens is StreamYard will say an error has occurred, and then I'm not smart enough to go and check and see if an error actually occurred. So that's how we ended up with two live streams. So my apologies for any confusion that may have been caused by that, certainly. And one of these days, I'll figure out how to. Why my web browser starts on the second window, I have no idea of the dual monitors. But yeah, here we are. Channel under attack. Yes, indeed. Streaming until the wheels fall off. So I'm waiting for my chat to load. I don't know if Miss Bex is coming back or not. I thought she was, so we'll see. We'll give her a minute to maybe pop in. And like I've talked about with my health issues, yeah, there it is. We're good. Cool. Yeah, under attack. What's up? Indeed. Very much under attack. Yeah, the most likely going to receive at minimum a 1 week, yeah, exactly, Yellow Cake Maker. Who would dare do such a thing? Well, we can't say for sure, but it's either just it takes this long for YouTube to catch up to the fact that I've been speaking fairly freely about the fake pandemic, right? And just calling it a fake pandemic, you know. Yeah, exactly, that lying piece of shit Mitchell. Well, regardless of what he's doing, regardless of what Mitchell is or isn't doing, I may very well be appearing on my own website in the very near future. So be aware of that if you would. The website is not yet up, so of course that's going to cause much confusion. But realistically, I'm not going to have the time to do that until this gets resolved one way or another. The internet legend, I don't know about that, T4 lovers, but it looked like you had a good time last night. I didn't quite get to follow it, but I did record it, and maybe it's still on your channel. I haven't looked. Talking about T4 lovers, and I forgot I was going to promote your channel earlier when we still had a lot of people. We had like 40 people. I need a reminder. So next time you pop in, T4 lovers, Mr. J, if there's a bunch of people here, like 35 or 40 people, if you could remind me, just say, hey, man, you told me to remind you to promote my channel. Because I meant to, and then especially with the channel potentially being under attack, right? Which I have no way of knowing. I just assume people are reporting the channel, and I have a pretty good idea who would be doing that, right? But I can't prove it. Yep, came along for a little more Benton, says Monel. Well, it's good to see you. Who is? I don't know who that is. Who is? I've heard you mention Joe Bell, I think. I'm not sure I know who that is. What's CSA? What does that mean? I'm assuming I should know that, right? Is it, an essay? Like, oh, never mind. Don't even, yeah, never mind. Did that recently happen? Let's not say what that means because I just figured it out. But did that happen recently? Because I knew, oh, well, yeah, again. Yeah, let's not. I'm just going to, now I'm paranoid, so I'm going to delete your post, but no worries. I figured it out, though. So my apologies. I asked for that. So I figured it out while I was asking you what it meant. But yeah, I will be overly paranoid at least for a couple of days. But as these things tend to happen, you know, if the strike happens or the ban happens, it typically only happens, you know, when I don't expect it. The fact that I'm just assuming it's going to happen any minute, you know, that's probably means it's not going to happen, right? Isn't that how that goes? Hey, Rob Cleveland. All right. Thanks, brother. Sweet. Oh, allegedly. Well, I mean, it is alleged until it's proven, right? And we know people typically take they typically take a plea, right? Isn't that usually how that goes? Hey, Bex. Good to see you as well. Apologies for my awkwardness. When I try to do too many things at once, I have difficulty focusing. And somehow, for some reason, my just fatigue has hit me or whatever. It seemed like I had a lot of energy to smite my enemies, and then it's waning for whatever reason. Just reading the chat, folks. Shout out to the chat, by the way. Let me go ahead and share my screen over here. I might. This might not be that exciting of a stream. Maybe I'm over-promising with the channel under attack. I need to put up some kind of banner. Now I'm sharing my own. This is great. Scagnetti on Scagnetti here. It's a little early for Paul yet. Tom Dark dropped a video. What's this? Do we know what this is? Let me drop his link. Did I pop out my chat? I did. No, not pregnant. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I've had plenty of energy, and it's like that's whatever these illnesses are, that I've been afflicted with. Thank you, Bex. Yes, I'm just that's me being hard on myself, certainly. But what happens is it's this thing where people say their nerves are shot. I always heard when I was young, I would hear sometimes the old folks, somebody be like, "How are you?" And then they'd be like, "My nerves are shot." And now I know what that is. And by the way, some of this probably is the caffeine. The coffee addiction. Yesterday, I did just fine with only the 2 12-ounce cups. But I think today maybe I had them a little too close together, possibly. But this is either caffeine withdrawal or just sometimes I feel drained and I got these weird like neurological type of things. It's hard to... Yeah, adrenal fatigue. I agree. Yeah. I think that's probably what it is, Sterling Ray. So I'm working myself back to the 1 12-ounce. Yes, I've heard that. Yeah, coffee restricts blood flow to the brain. I've heard that also. I haven't had coffee, by the way, for several hours today, but it's been like 4 hours since I had my last cup. However, recently I've had up to 48 ounces in one day. So yesterday I managed with 24. Today I've had a total of 24. So the goal is to get back to 12 and then just go ahead and get off of it, right? That's the goal. We'll see how that goes. What's this channel? Oh, yeah, Tom Dark channel. I want to play a little bit of this. This is how I sort of figure out what's going on with the younger folks and the internet.
Seen a lot of crazy videos in my time. I've been surfing around the internet looking for funny stuff to react to, and nothing was coming to me. Like, literally, nothing would come to me. I would have nothing to react to. There was no, like, epic cringe. I checked all the great subreddits, r/cringe. I checked Twitter. I checked all the Instagram meme accounts. I even resorted to checking TikTok, of all places, okay? Which I did not want to do. I don't want to be on TikTok for any reason. Even for, like, making a YouTube video, you think I want to use TikTok? No, okay? I have enough brain worms as is. I have pancreatic cancer.
I'm getting a vasectomy tomorrow
to prevent my children from being infected with whatever virus I have in my mind. Okay, obviously I don't want to be on TikTok, but just as I lost all hope, just as I was opening up the form to file an application to get a job at McDonald's as a fry cook, just as I was giving up on everything, this video came to me. This video was from a channel called Vostok on YouTube. It's called Incredible Gassy Theme Song.
Uh-oh. Stinky.
No, I think that
Hey Tom, if you ever see this, big fan. Can I just play some of your videos every once in a while? I'm not transforming your content, but I am letting some old folks know about your channel. Or not old, but older than you. My apologies. Now I'm insulting my audience, or our audience. But yeah, anyway, big fan, sir. I like what you're doing over there.
Think that Chipple Dipple like either made this or had some part in making it. You can see here it's linked. Wait, it's deleted. He deleted the tweet. Okay, well, it was linked. It was on his Twitter account at one point, and this person and I guess Chip deleted it. But this is called the Incredible Gassy theme song. I have almost never seen something so crazy in my life.
Tra-la-la! Are you worried about impending doom?
Not really.
Chuddy Grouper's got you filled with gloom. But don't you fear, there's a hero in the thread, the thread, the thread.
This is fucking cancer, dude. This is horrible. This is like the worst amalgamation of like Zoomer humor with like the fucking Sneed meme, and then we've got like Soy Jack party references incessantly. This isn't even 4chan. This is too advanced for 4chan, okay? The cringe is too much for someone from 4chan to have made this. This is clearly only something that somebody from Soy Jack party could have dreamt up. Now, I've already talked about Soy Jack party in a few videos. It's basically like this 4chan alternative. It's like an alt-chan where you go on and like they're just incessantly posting Soy Jacks and Wojacks. Obviously, they were the people who exposed the giggly goon clown that I covered not that long ago on my main channel. I think they're pretty funny. They definitely, you know, are a little out there with some of the humor, but you know, this whole gem and coal dichotomy, I'm definitely into. This is definitely gemmy as hell, this video, but like the amount of cringe. Like, put on your hazmat suits, okay? Hook up your CPAP machine so you can sleep well tonight, because this video is gonna cause some disturbances to the blood flow. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a large increase in the amount of gout. Those who don't know, gout is basically this gunk that like when you eat fast food, it clogs up your arteries and your heart, so you get like heart attacks. That's why old people who eat fast food for their whole lives get heart attacks.
We got a 32 watching in the live, Tom. Just in case you know, I'm not doing this to try to steal your content. I'm showing you to a different audience. I know you, but he does like 500 in his live streams or more.
And like red meat, it does that to you. This video, as proven by the Lobster Association, is shown to cause a 5,000% increase in the amount of gout in your arteries. So just be aware, maybe take something to like lower your cholesterol after you watch this. I'm just saying. Why the farting? Why the farting thing? Right from the start, okay, we had the farting right from the start. There's farting there, and then there's also farting with this guy, okay, and he's like Mr. Incredible. He's got his butt cheeks. Why the farting? Why? Like, this is how you know it's like Chipple Dipple definitely made this. I don't even have to DM him and ask him. I know he made this because of the farting. Like, only someone as sick in the head as him would find farting this funny. Don't get me wrong, I like farting. Farting is awesome, okay?
Sometimes you got to get a little gassy with the humor.
But this is just a little much, okay? Like, this is like vulgar. This is a bit obscene. Stinking up the catalog. Who is saying this, by the way?
In the interest of Sergeant Brett.
Do I even need to say anything? Do I even need to say anything for Sergeant Braphog, bro? What could I possibly fucking add to this image that you can't already see? It's an obese Johnny Test character that has been changed to be named after a fart that I guess farts a lot and is like green. You know the fucking drill.
It's the gassy warrior.
Just stop. No, the gassy warrior. Okay, so the fart count right now is at I think 4 farts.
It's the gassy warrior.
Dude, this is just cancer. This is absolute cancer. I'm getting several viral diseases from watching this video right now. My brain is about to fucking explode. The amount of I don't even, like, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. Like, whoever made this should be working at Intel right now designing microprocessors, because they are a genius, okay? A technological genius. But this is just awful. Like, this is beautiful, but it's also disgusting. You know, there's this one quote that I've been hearing a lot lately. The phrase is basically like, no beauty without pain. Like, to truly be beautiful, to be amazing, to be excellent, there has to be some level of disgust, some level of pain, some level of suffering behind that. And I think that there's nothing that could possibly exemplify that better than the incredibly gassy theme song, because it really does go to show that you need to have a certain level of inner pain, a certain level of viral diseases, you know, Ebola not excluded. You need to have a certain level of Ebola to have a certain level of Sergeant Braphog. But obviously nobody wants to acknowledge that, because everybody today is just a snowflake. They don't want to acknowledge the fact to be truly great, you got to be a little gassy. But nobody wants to acknowledge that reality, apparently. I'm the only one apparently on YouTube. And you know, I am often called the most honest YouTuber.
I'm on the raw vegetables,
obviously I need to own that title and just say, guys, to be truly great, you got to be a little gassy.
Hey, watch out, Chud!
Hey, watch out, Chud. Watch out, Chud! The Groypers are coming.
He's a Spanish stud.
He's a Hispanics clad stud. Did Emp Lemon narrate? This kind of sounds like Emp Lemon's voice.
He's a Hispanics clad stud. Na 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 na.
Shout out to
Gassy
Aunt Lemon.
Gemerald, yeah yeah yeah.
Gassy Gemerald, yeah, bro. I'm gonna listen to this in my car every day. Okay, but this is a theme song. My
this
biggest
what the
question
kids are
is there
into?
a full show planned? Can we start like a crowdfunding website page, like fucking GoFundMe or something to get this show off the ground? Because I think this show could potentially have a lot of viewership with age ranges between 9 and 14. You know, I'm actually gonna schedule a marketing meeting right now with my team to talk about how we can get this off the ground, because I think that Nickelodeon's been looking for a lot more up and comers that are kind of relating to Zoomer culture, and I think that they could really increase their demographic and results for 9 to 14-year-olds with this show. I think they would be really captivated by the Gassy Gemerald brand. So what we're gonna do is we're basically gonna create a brand in and of itself. We're gonna have a kernel of the Gassy Gemerald, and we're gonna have a crust of chud culture in general. So we're gonna have Sergeant Braphog, we're gonna have the Soy Jack, we're gonna have Cobson, and we're basically gonna build a nice brand around this. We're gonna do a toy line. We're gonna be doing a collab with U2s to create the perfect chuddy action figure. Okay, they're a really great company. They get a lot of good stuff done. And I think when we put this all together, we're gonna end up in the end having a really great product that a lot of people are gonna like. I think is gonna, you know, be potentially, I mean, we could be talking like Star Wars territory with this property, okay? You know, a lot of people may doubt that, but if you think about Star Wars, I mean, what's it even about? It's like space wizards. It's like the worst, nerdiest shit of all time. And yet millions and millions of adults around the world, potentially like billions, love Star Wars and cherish it. And it's one of the most profitable sort of brands of all time. And I think from that perspective, when you think about the chuddy brand, the Gassy Gemerald brand, the incredible Gassy show,
Good
I think
stuff,
we can
Tom.
really build something special. So I'm going to schedule a meeting for after this.
This thread needs a hero. He's bouncing up and down. On his gun across town.
I'm sorry, on his ildo?
Across town.
Oh, he's riding a giant green dildo. I didn't realize that was
Na
part
na
of
na
it.
na na. Gassy Gemerald, yeah yeah yeah.
Why is he a waffle? I like that they still have the watermark for whoever made this video. Is Vita the company like that made the waffle maker? Nick Icato's in this video? Dude, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah yeah yeah. 3 times the size of Nickacola.
Can somebody please get Hassan Piker to react to this? I need to see his unfiltered reaction. I feel like he'd just stand there with like a straight face, and by the end he'd be like, well, that was freaking racist. Like, he would not like this video whatsoever.
I'm saying it. Oh yeah, this puke up and it gold. Gassy Gemerald is his name.
You can tell that it's like an AI voice when it says, oh yeah, that's pure comedy gold. Like, that's how you can tell that it's an AI voice.
I'm saying it.
Looks like he slimmed down a bit. He's been losing some weight. Good for him. I don't like these
This
guys
is
in the background.
terrible.
Why are they naked? Like, if you're gonna draw that level of detail on their face, then surely their body needs to have some level of detail, or else they're just like naked, sexless forms, like with like smooth crotches. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Or at least give them some pants.
Oh yeah, this puke up and it gold. Gassy Gemerald is his name. Snap your fingers and he'll be right there. The freaky farter with the fluoride stare.
Freaky farter with a fluoride stare. F off. Go away. Whoever made this needs to be imprisoned right now so I can steal their brand and become a multi-millionaire off of this property, because honestly, I see a lot of potential with it that a lot of people are not really tuned into.
He'll jump his trousers in a fight to save the thread. The thread.
Did they just give up here? Decide to stop making the music video?
The thread. Oh, there he goes to pressure party.
Yeah, that's right.
He's the gym that saves
Soy Jack party.
all the charties.
Wait, okay, I didn't even realize. Why am I in this video? Is this supposed to be me? If you look up Turkey Tom profile picture on YouTube, I mean, that's the exact same hair. Okay, yeah. So this is, I think we're in agreement.
Oh, you're
I
in
think
the video,
we're
Tom.
probably in agreement that this is me. Like, I'm in this video as a chud jack, about to be like brutally abused and used by the gassy Gemerald.
themselves every time.
What is this? I heart losers creep. Dude, what? They made me wear this in the video? This Chip definitely made this. There's no way Chipple Dipple did not make this video.
Charties soil themselves every time they hear him say.
Why does it say Zim instead of him? They hear Zim say.
Him say.
I get devoured? This thread needs a hero? Am I the enemy
It's
of
like
Soy
Luke,
Jack Party? Do they hate me?
or,
I was under the impression that they
Han
liked
Solo.
me. Holy shit. Dude, the sickness is taking
like
over.
Han Solo.
Ugh. I was under the impression they liked me after my video about the Goon Clown because I supported them and said they shouldn't be deplatformed, but apparently not. Apparently the soy jackers are mad at me and the gassy Gemerald is gonna devour me in this dark room. He's just gonna assault me basically.
Every time they hear him say,
Why'd I get eaten? Why'd I have to get eaten, dude? I'm literally alive trying to get out. Dude, oh my god. It's pretty rare that I react to a video where at the end is just a straight up threat on my life where I get eaten by a fat Avenger. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say that Soy Jack Party is officially infiltrating the mainstream. We've seen a lot of Jemmy and Cole memes recently. There's a lot of Wojak accounts I follow on Twitter that are posting Wojaks all the time. There's also SoyTube Kids, which I assume this was loosely inspired by just because of the amount of cringe. I didn't even realize SoyTube Kids has 16,000 subs, and they literally make, wait, these have views? 5 Little Chuddies educational Soy Jack nursery rhymes for children. 273,000.
This is terrible. What
are
is
actual
this?
children watching this video? Comments are turned off. Children are watching this video, dude. That means that this is a YouTube Kids video. If comments are turned off, they're literally trying to make children's content.
One yellow bug.
Talk about the Soy Jack Party pipeline. Wow. This is literally, and what is it? What are they supposed to learn? That eating bugs is good, depending on the color?
Yeah. They're going to be eating bugs apparently in the future. So yeah.
What is the lesson to be learned here for children? 5 Little Chuddies karaoke sing-along interactive Soy Jack nursery rhyme. Okay. This is fucking cancer. What is that? Dr. Soyberg? Dude, they're red pilling children with this video.
Bro.
And they did it in 3 different languages. So there's this one. I assume this is the same video, and then they did it in German. This is horrible. Why did they make this, dude? The children are literally being infected with Soy Jack Party memes. I feel like there's no way to get around it. Chuddy content is infecting the world at large. What is this one? Is this one a different language?
No more chuddies jumping on the
this one they just added the.
Well, Monel, you are old.
Before it didn't have.
I hate to break it to you, but then again, so am I.
No
So
more
perhaps it's
chuddies
okay.
jumping on the bed.
What is this one doing? He's doing ape stuff. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, Tom. If you don't know, I damn sure don't know.
Now she's happy that her chuddies are sound asleep.
All right, I'm out of here. We're out of here, Tom.
Man, this is just too much. I gotta get out of here for now, guys. I think I've gone too deep.
Yep. You've gone too deep, sir. Oh, yeah, let's see what's this. I never got to see this. I guess now, since I don't get to watch YouTube videos. Oh, no, I did watch some of this. Never mind. This is no good. And Doja Cat is a Sam Hyde fan, apparently. IRL streaming's back. Somebody died in a streamer house. That was on here somewhere. Me and Bex were talking about streamer houses recently. Let me try that. Streamer house death. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? 12 minutes ago. All right. World Peace 2.
World Peace?
We should.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking? We just basically wrapped. I mean, we still have to do music performances, but we
It's nice.
shot
It
the
is.
last thing.
It's nice to be there. I'm so
Yeah.
happy I could cry.
Yeah,
It's a really good time, man.
It was.
it was a good time. We didn't have any.
It was good.
We didn't
Still
have any
can't, still can't believe it.
Nice.
No bull. No fancy dance moves.
Do you remember anything, Eric?
Nope.
Do you not remember anything?
No. Well, just in general, no.
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 It was a tall.
It was a lot.
Tall
It was
for
a
a
lot.
lot of shooting. We didn't stop and we didn't get fat. We didn't turn into fat kids anywhere, which is nice. Because it would have been very easy for us to get 3 months ago to be like, all right, that's good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. We got a show.
I'm a
And
little
they're like,
tired.
nah, fuck it.
No, we did it. We did it as far as we could. We went all the way. There's no argument that at this point there's no more we could do. I don't think we could do one more sketch and have it be.
No,
It's
there's no
just
need
No,
for it.
right, yeah.
No, there's no way to keep going. We went to the end of the line.
Yeah, all the way.
Yeah.
All the way to the
This is
chair,
gonna be
the electric
dope.
We
one.
went to the electric chair.
Yeah, except for the
This is
people who
gonna
like
be
it or don't like
dope.
it at this
We
point.
walked the green mile.
And you walked in the sweat tent yesterday.
Anybody,
Oh my God.
anybody who doesn't like this is an idiot.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's not even an ego thing. Like, I just know that it's better. Anybody that doesn't like World Peace 2 is going to be an idiot if they don't like it.
I don't think anyone's not going to like it.
I think there's going to be a lot of people.
It's going to be unbelievable. I think they're going to be lying.
I hope I hear from them personally.
They're liars when they say they don't like it.
I think that's the case.
They're acting in bad faith when they pretend.
I think they're
don't.
being very naughty, Charles.
I think they're running a psyop on you.
I think they're in bad faith and they're being naughty.
Yeah, they're being naughty. They're being disingenuous.
Oh, quite so.
Yeah, no, if you watch, especially if you watch sketch too, like if you're like really like this sketch was second, right?
Oh yeah.
And like this fucking that feels like 6 years ago.
That was second.
That feels like.
To me, that feels like World Peace
I think I
One.
lost
Yeah.
10,
in my
15 pounds since that. For real.
Yeah.
I think
that.
Nick, you were so funny in this one.
You were, man.
No,
I think
You were
I
touching
think,
it.
I think you were like nervous. You didn't like it. I think you just were really funny though. I think you were really funny.
I think we were just rusty, and I was just
We were
like,
rusty, yeah, we were rusty.
We were like fuck, like the
Well,
first
I
one,
mean,
the NFL shit. Like,
let's be
not
clear.
knowing- like I got it. I know how we should.
The younger generations are screwed because they got born into this, but that's also how we got screwed because we got born into whatever this is. See how it works. And I do say at least the younger generations watched us and the boomers and figured out that, hey, this entire country is a bunch of scams. It's a series of scams, and they know to only do the bare minimum. We're the Gen X, and the boomers are the ones that in the greatest generation, got all this Ozzie and Harriet programming, and go out there and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, a day's work for a day's pay for a day's work, and all of this stuff. Like we're the ones who bought all that shit and slaved away and busted our asses, most of us. The younger generations have seen that that's not the way. So good on them. Maybe they're not going to waste their best years, enriching corporations, or at least not doing it in a way that, where they're at their own expense, right? It's in lieu of living their lives, hopefully. Yeah, exactly. All in the hamster wheel. So, yeah, the younger generations are screwed. But now the fact that they were watching that type of content, I have no idea. But this will actually be funny here, the World Peace 2.
3, I was like mortified, rusty. I was just so like anytime I opened my mouth, I was like, oh my god, what did I just say?
Yeah.
What the hell am I up here doing?
I remember you like looking at me like I was crazy. I'm like, why the fuck is he looking at me like I'm so crazy? It's gonna be fine. Like during the NFL sketch, you're like, you didn't write this out, and I'm like, nah.
Scaring the shit out of me.
And I'm like, why the fuck is he so like adamant about writing shit? As soon as it started going, like, speed, sound, speed, camera, action, like, fuck, like literally like hats off, panic. Like, he's right. I have no idea where this is going. Like after that, I was like, fuck that.
Well, but I still have some of that programming where I'm like, this fucking lazy kids or whatever, right? But I finally have gotten through to myself in my own head. That's like, no, they've figured it out on some level. It's a bunch of scams. What's the point of trying, right? What's the point of trying hard? Do the minimum, and I don't preach this. I'm not able to do the minimum. If I could do the minimum, I could be living in a truck doing live streams, right? I'm the one who's still indoctrinated enough to go out here and do a great job, but I do a great job for me, right? Nobody but me.
That from now on, kind of.
And it's funny. My first lines were Dr. Dealer, and as soon as I said my first line, I immediately was like this. My voice
Later, kick out the jams. He's out. Hopefully, it's nothing I did or said, but hopefully, see you again and have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your day, sir.
That's weird. I was like, Jesus, I suck.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah.
I don't think we had one dud though. I think there was one. I think one of mine was it fell. I can't remember which one, but it felt flat. I just remember feeling like this is not. Do you remember which one that was? Oh yeah, the feminist debate.
No, I like that.
But I don't think we really. I think that's salvageable. Everything else, though, I don't think we had one dud in there. I think it was all hitters, man.
It will not.
Yeah, it was.
I'll tell you, that was the balls too, Sam.
I love that one.
That one made me laugh the whole fucking day.
Oh, there's my girlfriend right there. That was pretty good.
Female comedy school was great.
Yeah, I think that came out well.
Yeah, that was a good time. I enjoyed. I like the one we just did yesterday. I thought it was I like laughing organically. No one tells me no cue into it. I'm just like, I know what it is, and then you just hear lines like, oh, this is gonna be funny. Like you just know sketch enough.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that'll be the Dom thing didn't again.
Fuck this
The
place.
title
I
is
didn't
not
think it was gonna be good. Well,
Yeah,
not that,
no,
but
it's
different expectations.
What the, none of this was. I don't. Did any of yours
Go to plan?
go to plan?
No, that's just it. Nothing.
Yeah,
It
no.
was shot very guerrilla.
Yeah. No, it's just that there's no way to plan this stuff. Anybody who says that greatness is not a result of like accidental, just creating opportunities for accidents, I don't believe them. That's all it is. It's just we just got these just weird things happening.
Well, if you have like people who are smart enough to know like if a sketch is going like left or right or like somewhere where it shouldn't be going.
Yeah.
And you're working around guys that you trust, and you're like, no one will let me fail. Like,
Yeah,
like Charles and Eric won't let. Like, you write a sketch. Don't worry, I'll fucking cut my hands off if I have to. I'll pull my balls out and drink my own piss upside down if I have to. I won't have to because someone else will do something that's easily as funny. But God forbid.
Yeah, you won't let it fail.
Yeah. Like, nope. Like Eric will light himself on fire. If he has to.
No, a bag on his head.
I love that costume.
I know.
When Nick wears workwear like it's a
Silly.
wigger or something. It's ridiculous.
God damn. Fucking Tommy.
Man, that was wild when Eric was
Fucked up
flying
few
from the thing.
months. Most fucked up few months I've ever known. It's
Crazy.
Man, makeup with that. She was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, man, looks good.
Yeah, this is fun. This was a nice, easy day.
This was a great idea. This was really good.
I love. And you know,
this is Nick's sketch, West Warwick Gardening.
I love that because it's like we thought of that. That was like the first sketch I wrote.
That was, I remember
a long, I think that's
years and years
7
ago.
years ago.
I've had that in my notes because I keep anytime you tell me something, I have notes.
Yeah.
It's just I remember that going back years.
Damn,
that's almost a decade old.
Yeah,
like 7 years old, 6 years old.
Christ, yeah, it's a 7-year-old bit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
This one, I thought of this because I was watching Cocktails. Which is,
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Cocktails?
Cocktail with Tom Cruise.
With Tom Cruise, yeah. And it's just glorifying drinking.
I'm gonna watch it now.
With like a hot 80s soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Saxophone,
man.
sexy.
And making drinking look like the sexiest, coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Oh, shit.
Can't believe these times.
Yeah, like that. Jesus, there's so. The feminist debate was kind of fun, though.
Yeah, I mean, I like the smoking the food.
I like being around ladies that are yelling and talking, yapping.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I liked that. And then like the chicks being sexy was kind of funny too, because like they were like laying it on thick in front of 50 people, and people were getting like uncomfortable.
Oh my god,
that was like amazing to watch. Where she was like, "Where would you put it? Would you put it inside my?"
And it went on
was
forever.
Like, everybody was like,
"Oh, you mean the daddy dom?"
Daddy dom.
Oh yeah.
Like that like knocked the wind out of people because like
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like I'm a mildly sexual person. Some people you watch people get sexual whether they want it or not.
Well, that's heavier than if we had shown like a hardcore on a projector.
Yes,
that would have been way more mild than what actually happened.
Right.
Which was Letty to asking the guy to describe a.
Yeah. Would you put it in your mouth?
That's as heavy. You can't really get heavier than that.
I remember like getting like my balls filled up with fluid. I was like, whoa, easy. You slow down. That's enough. That's like if a girl's like walking in with her pants around her thighs. You know, like, I grew my pubes out. Do you like what you see? And I'm like, of course I do. Hey!
You have to scream.
Yeah. Like I feel like a trick got played on me, but it was like a sexual thing. It was funny.
Sexual trick. That's all.
It was, but it was a good one because it got played on 60 people in person.
Yeah, it was
live.
crazy.
The funny part about that was when Schultz did the casting for the male guys, the Craigslist ad was seeking sexually dominant male actors to like he put out an ad for looking for sexually dominant males, and those were the guys.
Those are the guys that showed up. That fucking.
They were pretty sexual, that's for sure. They didn't seem that dominant.
Didn't seem so dominant.
The guy in the suit was my favorite.
They were awesome.
Yeah, they were.
Those guys were classic.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I gotta hang out with them more.
That one was shocking because I didn't know what to expect, and I couldn't believe how good that one was.
That one was really fun.
Yeah, the stuff they were saying, like, put them through the ringer.
Yeah.
I mean, as hard as you can go. That guy started talking about watching with machines on it, chains, whips, machines. This is watching James Brown AI.
Yeah, I like chains.
Oh, that guy. Yes, I forgot about that guy. Oh my god.
I like chains.
Machines.
Yeah, dude. He was auditioning for like Raging Bull. That guy, the pink suit guy. Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about him.
Holy shit.
I was thinking about the nerdy guy, the other one that's like,
oh yeah,
I don't know, maybe you could I'd tie you up and tell you what a good girl you're being.
I'd ravish you.
I'd ravish. I'd ravish.
Ravishing Rick Rude. I'd ravish you.
Eric's character when he started doing the producer.
Oh, I love that. That was 2 days of that where he's like, "We're gonna make this work."
And
3
he
days.
did not know where to go with that the whole way through, but.
It was funny because it was like 3 levels. Like, Eric, you want to produce, and then Eric starts producing, and then he starts pushing. It was like, boom, 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 boom.
I think there was something visually. I mean, it's good, but it's awkward about just being 1 inch behind their heads while they're saying these things. It's just my face as a producer behind them. Like, there's no place for a producer that close.
Yeah. It'd be like if there was like Wheel of Fortune, and you saw one of the producers standing out like a headset, like right behind. They're like, "I'll take a W." You're like,
breathing on his neck while he's answering stuff the whole time.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't get it till like 9 hours into the first day, and I wanted it forever. Because it was 3 days of that, right?
Yeah.
3 game shows back to back to back.
I'm pretty amazed at the things I don't understand until I see them. That's amazing me every day. I'm like this. What do I even understand anymore?
When you mean like bits, you're like, I don't get how this will be funny. You see it, you're like,
exactly. I'm like,
I think anything we do is funny right now.
Yeah.
I think we're just at that point. I'm sure at some point we'll all be old and whack, but I think right now anything we do is funny.
Yep.
Well, it's on the point where I think it's like everybody will get it, and you're like, you get it, and like I get it, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, I get it.
Yep.
And then everybody knows how to like gas it or like just accelerate it.
Yeah.
Which is nice because not always the case. I mean, clearly you fucking listen to what people say sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people who aren't comedians, they're like, do that. You're like, get him out of here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're going in your car.
Schultz, who is this guy? Get the fuck out of here.
It's time for you to go for a car ride back to your house.
Hey, good idea, man. Hey, Bobby, who's that guy over there? Can you get him out here immediately?
Grandmother. Just throw him in his car.
Don't you think we have to thank the extras for how many times they showed up?
The whole thing.
Yep.
The directors, the extras. It was just. I mean, we just got all these good people just hanging around.
Yep. Shocking. Still shocked by it.
The MDE fans came in to be extras in the audience, and they were just great. People came from really far away. They came and stayed for long periods of time. It's just tremendous gift from the people.
Yep.
Yeah. And also the actors. We had these like, shitty actors from Craigslist, but they all had something special about them, like Mary and.
Oh yeah. My God.
We're lucky. We're lucky we got all these people involved. I think.
Yeah, it was good. And they weren't like super annoying LA extras where they would like. Like sit
standards.
around the green room. Yeah.
Even Atlanta extras, anywhere where there's an acting community, like, because we're not in an acting area, we got people that are like kind of quirky, just weird and good, and they're down for whatever.
Yeah, you get hippie lady and like retard
saying
who's
the
not
N-word.
saying the N-word, who's not trying to like one up because they don't have a good one up story.
No
one's like, I was on Tyler Perry's fucking Medea sucks a cock.
Everybody's first day.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
This is literally the first time I've ever seen 2 cameras at one spot. I'm usually working on like student projects for like children.
Yeah,
literally. But they would like pick up Easter eggs in an Easter basket for a PBS show.
Yep.
As like dressed as like a raccoon. Like that's what they did before. Like
was walking around Casper the other day. There's been times where I just straight up wave my wand at the crosswalk sign, and as soon as it points at the crosswalk sign, it instantly turns to walk. Walks on across it, you know what I'm saying? Which is always convenient for me, of course. And I got stopped by the cops the other day because I had my wand up like that. Just walking, minding my own business, you know, and, like, what are you doing? Just walking around, you know, what's that? It's a wand. What's it used for? Magic. And then one of the cops recognized me from my YouTube channel. He's like, oh, you're King Cobra, aren't you? I just smiled. He's like, yeah, you are. You should give me a shout out in your next video. And, you know, he looked at me and he goes, well, what are you using magic for? I'm like, well, I've been, preventing it from snowing. The other cop's like, oh, I've been wanting to snow. I will allow it. Even though I've been preventing snow for a couple months now. My power's getting that stronger, possibly. I was walking around Casper the other day. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings using the bathroom, and there were a bunch of others just standing in there rapping, hanging out with friends. I'm all nodding my head to the rap, getting into it, like, you know what I'm saying? The urinal was out of order, which, you know, I didn't mind. Yeah, the stall...
Getting a question about sardines. They fuck me up real bad. Yeah, I love sardines, actually. Yeah, they make me sick. I think it's all the saturated fat. Yeah, they're very high in saturated fat, which I love. I'm getting most of my saturated fat from raw egg yolks, if you can believe it. Yeah, raw. Actually, I'm going to have 5 today. I should probably have another egg yolk. Yeah, exactly, Michael A. Exactly. King Cobra JFS in the house.
Became available, so I go in there like a mature adult. I lock the door and go take a piss, and one of them takes a wet paper towel and tries to throw it at me. It went over the stall and into the stall next to me, and one of them shouted, God, the King Cobra's a racist. And I was like, do I even know these people? What the fuck did I do to you? But I stopped and thought about it, and I'm like, getting mad is not going to solve anything. It's not going to make the race issue go away. So instead, I made a joke about it. I said, well, I guess I'm white trash. And then I finished taking a piss. I go to wash my hands, and they're just mean mugging me like. And then when I get out of the bathroom and eat 12 of the hottest wings Buffalo Wild Wings had to offer. So I'm like, dude, I got bigger fish to fry. I don't got time for this, you know?
I love it. I love it.
I've lived a very normal life. Oh, check out the sunrise. It's my house. Average Joe Schmo taking a shower over here, you know. And I graduated. Got my diploma. I have a job. I have a wife. We all do and say stupid shit we're not proud of. You just gotta be goal motivated, you know what I'm saying? Effing nightmare.
But Joe, those asking me about sardines. Yeah, when I first was figuring out what food I could eat, I was trying sardines. I even tried mixing the sardines with the tuna, but what I figured out is just it doesn't take very much tuna to fuck my stomach all up. I think it's the sat fat, because tuna is actually by itself is low in fat, but it's the kind I get, you know, is in olive oil, so there's some fat from that. But I finally started drinking. I eat or / drink raw egg yolks now, which, yeah, I mean, that sounds disgusting in some way. I mean, to me it does. And for those who may not know, I was actually formerly, as a young person, I've never met anyone who was as picky of an eater as I was as a child. In fact, I never even ate eggs until into my 40s, believe it or not. And I enjoy them now, but I'm off the yolks, the whites. What do y'all think about egg whites? And in fact, the first raw eggs, I had 3 raw eggs with the whites, and man, it tore my stomach up to some extent. And so now I have an egg yolk separator. Shout out to Music Holds a Secret for pointing out that Walmart sells those. I had no idea. So now I'm discarding the egg whites, which I'm just convinced are bad, especially for men. And in fact, we've been led to believe that all the protein is in the white. That's not true. The yolks have some protein, and of course, most of the nutrients and the fat is in the yolk, and the dietary cholesterol. So I'm trying to get that cholesterol, which It's funny how they've convinced us, oh, cholesterol's bad. It's like, no, you need to eat cholesterol, actually. Very important. I think this is, see, What's Up says, I wonder if that's real olive oil. Can we talk about real olive oil, by the way? From what I understand, if you go to your local store, you know, your grocery store, apparently most of that is not real most of that apparently is not real olive oil. And in fact, the brands that seem as if they've been confirmed as real, you may notice, are way more expensive than the other stuff. So this particular brand of tuna I've been getting, I think it's real olive oil, this stuff. But I think the Starkiss brand, or the Sunkissed, or whatever it is, the Starkiss brand, they say they have olive oil, but I don't think it is. I think it's something else. So these are like, these used to be like $7.50 for a 4-pack. I think now they're up to like $8.18 at Walmart, at Wally World. This is just about the only thing I get at Walmart anymore. And this, only one Walmart, maybe. Well, actually, there's 3. This is what's crazy about being in Arkansas. There's 3 super centers and 2 Walmart neighborhood markets, and this is only 90,000 people live here in the town. And then there's 2 more super centers within like 20-mile radius. So, you know, I've been taken to task. Oh, sorry. How long have I been doing this? I've been taken to task to some extent, and apologies for, I keep forgetting to make it full screen. Yeah, in water. The only thing about that Jeep Girl, that is quite good, I must say, is I'm trying to get, I need the olive oil, right? I need it to have, I'm trying to get some fat for my brain, but I might switch to that, actually. That is good stuff. You know, because this is a little more pricier, but and the thing about olive oil is it goes rancid real quick. Like, I remember I bought a really nice expensive bottle of olive oil. This is before I realized just exactly how serious my health issues were, and I left the cap off of it by mistake, and that shit's no good, man. I left the cap off it overnight. It's a fucking wrap. Once it goes rancid, you know, no bueno. Oh, really? Yeah, I've heard. You know what? I've heard of that, Big Stank. Yeah, he said his grandpa used to put a raw egg in his coffee. Savage, by the way. Number 1, savage. Hey, get the whites out of there, right? But I'm sure the 1 egg white ain't gonna kill nobody. But I've been doing 4 a day, 4 egg yolks. Actually, I need to go to 5 probably, just based on I'm buying the eggs 20 at a time at the local. You know, it's a fruit and vegetable stand, but it used to be a wholesaler, so it's, you know, indoors in this old, you know, you can just look at the place and tell it used to be a distributor, you know, a wholesaler. But they've got the best fruits and vegetables in town, as far as I can tell. Walmarts are just, every time I get fruits and vegetables at Walmart, I regret it now. So I'm pretty much done with them for the fruits and vegetables. But excuse me. What the fuck? And then there's another grocery store, one of these discount plus 10% places, you know, cash plus, I forget what they call those. They have some kind of term for that. Theirs are hit and miss, right? I've been getting really good sweet potatoes, real good big sweet potatoes from this wholesaler. And man, I bought at least 2 pounds of red grapes yesterday, and I freaking mowed through all of them. I haven't had grapes in a while. Watermelon season's over, so fuck, dude. I had no intention of doing that, but yeah, I mowed through that entire bag. I just couldn't stop myself, in pretty short order. Yeah. What do we got here? A new Caleb hammer. Oh, is this an old? It's better when it's older people.
Daphne, I'm 36 years old, based out of Austin, Texas, and this is financial audit.
So what do you do here in Austin for a living?
I'm a nurse, an LVN, and I work with home health patients, like trach fed patients.
So you're one of those evil people who stick people with needles and make them pass out. Not talking about myself, definitely not at all. I'm not afraid of needles. I have no fears.
I don't do
that. Cool. Well, I love nurses. That's also my mom's a nurse, so always a big fan. Great career path to go down. What are you making right now in this position?
So I would say like my monthly income that hits my bank is no less than $7,500 a month.
$7,500 a month?
Yeah.
That's
Damn.
crazy net.
Is it crazy?
I mean, this is really
that's a lot of money.
Again, nursing is great. That's $90,000 post taxes, post retirement contribution, post health insurance, post any other benefits.
Yeah, then that's
really
the
good.
minimum.
That's the minimum. Well, what do you think it is on average?
Probably a little closer to 85, but I try to. That's funny because I have no money. So
well, that's your choices. I know that was literally going to be my question. I was going to be like, how the did you possibly get into this kind of debt, and how and why the does it still exist would be the main question. Because okay, maybe we get into that because of bad mistakes, but now we have $8,500 coming in on a monthly basis on average, coming in after taxes, after benefits. That could essentially wipe this first card off the. Okay,
which one is that?
Well, this is Discover. We'll go through them, but I just why? Why are they not paid for?
I can tell you the whole story. My life kind of fell apart this year.
This year?
Yeah,
Okay.
just pretty much this year.
Why? What happened?
So I moved here a year ago.
Hey, I want to hear more about that Big Drink Tea. Is that he says pork is best for the brain? You mean pork fat specifically? That's interesting. Huh? And you're eating raw pork, which I guess I'm assuming that you're not buying it at the grocery store. I'm assuming you're either butchering the pig yourself or you're buying it from a local. You're getting the pig locally and having it butchered. I'm just guessing, right? And if that's the case, most will probably assume that because I have to think that going to the grocery store and buying whatever they have and then consuming it raw might not be the move. But interesting, sir. I didn't even know one could eat raw pork actually. And of course, the conventional wisdom being that it would make one sick, right? I'm just curious. I'm not skeptical, and I know Big Drink Tea knows his shit. He's the type that he knows what the fuck he's talking about typically. So I'm just curious. I'm not being challenging necessarily.
And I bought my house in January, and I was working. So typically for me, working full time is 72 hours a week. I work two.
Oh, that's what it pays.
Yeah, yeah. So I work 2 full-time jobs minimum.
Both nursing.
Yeah.
And the 85 is after that. Oh, okay. So that's both jobs combined. That's not just the nursing job. The one of the nursing.
Yeah, no, that's all my income. So both of my jobs, and my child support all together.
Go ahead.
So after I bought my house, and I was super proud of myself. Yes, the first house ever. It was so beautiful.
Sure.
One of my full-time
Yeah, this is what I
patients
figured.
passed away.
Which is gonna happen.
Well, and Big Drink Tea says he gets all his meat from his own farm. Yeah, and I forgot you had a farm, although I don't know why I forgot that. But yeah, that's what I'm here for, sir, because I just immediately was like, wait a minute, pork from, and I'm like, oh, there's no way he's not eating from the supermarket. So yeah, and once again, folks, Big Drink Tea, living his best life. Shout out to you, sir. That's fucking dope, I must say. Very impressive. But yeah, so it kind of shows us, I think, that what we just assume about you can't eat raw pork. Well, don't eat the pork from the grocery store raw. But I'm curious, like, are you butchering them? I'm just curious, like, do you butcher them yourselves? Feel free not to share. I need to interview Big Drink Tea at a certain point, but whether or not he would choose to come on the stream is up to him. But yeah, very interesting. Just curious about how that works. Is there any sort of preparation? What with the preparation? Is some of this aged? Is it some of it fermented? Like, I'm just genuinely curious. So if you care to share, that'd be cool. But yeah, awesome.
In that line of
Not
work, right?
typically.
No?
No. Like, I've been doing home health for 4 years now.
Home health. We're not just talking elderly people.
Sometimes elderly. So when I moved
elderly
here,
people tend to
but
sometimes
not,
no longer
like
exist.
right away.
Not right away, but no.
So I started working in the ALS community, which is an absolutely horrific disease.
Yeah, terrible.
I feel so badly for those families, and so that happened, and then it takes several weeks to like establish with a new patient.
Through an agency or through yourself?
I work through agencies.
Okay.
Yeah, staffing agencies, and then so I established with a new patient.
Well, I want to say this about the medical misinformation warnings. I've talked a lot about my own conditions and what's worked for me. So the channel's probably fucked. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. I'm just, whether it's somebody reporting the streams or it's the algorithm, which it kind of makes me wonder, why is it taking this long? So, which kind of makes me think it's most likely a person, although maybe just eventually maybe there was a manual review. They saw that turpentine cured me. I shouldn't even be saying that now, but they saw a particular thread, a stream title, and then maybe that they said, well, okay, let's crank up the fucking scrutiny on this dude. I don't know. I'm assuming just the fact that I've been going off about a certain live chatter for hours, and then the next thing I know, I look at my phone and I'm getting emails, about another warning, right? And I've been told, I've received the warning a few days ago, and now it's they've added a new stream to the warning and taken the video down. By the way, the video's blocked. And again, yet another reason to only do 6-hour streams or less than 6-hour streams. But I just assume that someone is mass flagging all of the videos. I'm just guessing. Although I have no way of proving that. And the fact that I'm saying my opinion, if somebody wants to consider that a claim, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm certainly not going to be providing evidence. So just be aware of that. Unless I had evidence. Hey, here comes Bex. Awesome. Hey, Bex.
Hello, I'm just fixing my audio. Sorry.
No problem.
Just one sec. I got to turn my YouTube off.
Yeah, no rush. Well, and claim actually.
Okay, I'm good.
And real quick, claim actually means, in a verb form, means to state or assert that something is the case. Typically without providing evidence or proof. Yeah, I am doing that. I am making a claim. I'm not supporting the claim. So when somebody says, can you support that claim? No, I can't. And that's something I've noticed with Mitchell is he likes to, when somebody makes an assertion about him, he likes to ask for evidence or can you support your claim? No, I can't. And in fact, that's what claim means. So no, I can't. Please go ahead, Bex.
Yeah, I just wanted to come back up and say hello. I've been listening for the last 10 minutes or so. I had to take a phone call. I wanted to catch up to the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
The censorship to the point of not being able to talk about one's own experiences, is like ridiculous.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I could not agree more. Yeah, and so which it further leads me to believe that YouTube I've been talking this way since day one of doing live streams, so which again leads me to believe that a human being is clicking on report this video. I'm just guessing, but I don't know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But I highly suspect that, right? Or I suspect highly, I should say.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why you might.
And I have been spent several hours today stating my opinions about a particular person who's in the live chat and someone who's on the panel at times or has been, although that's probably not ever going to happen again, I would imagine. And I'll tell you what inspired me was Freedom Growers live stream. And I think you were probably out and about during that time, I'm assuming.
I was.
Yeah, and
I was. Freedom Grower had a live stream yesterday.
Yeah, he particularly addressed a particular person, and I had an epiphany based on Dick's commentary, which he described a type of way a particular person is living, and then said, well, he can see why that person, because of that person's not able to sort of get their own affairs in order, they seem to be spending a lot of their time attacking Dick, and Dick did a pretty astute breakdown of those dynamics. And he said, and this is why I think he meant, but he said, this is why one doesn't try to resolve or seek resolution with duplicitous people. And then the light bulb went off in my head. Oh, yes, you're right. I've been doing that because what I would refer to as evil seems to understand my own humanity and uses it against me, in that I do want to seek resolution. I do want to resolve what can be resolved, right? But now I'm seeing it can't be done with a person who could be described as duplicitous. It's just not possible. And then immediately almost, and this was yesterday, so by this morning I had devised a strategy to actually, that if it's enacted community-wide, will most likely cause this person to, at a minimum, go underground for a time, which is every single time the poster shows themselves in a live chat, type in, and this is not advice, this is the actual strategy. Type in Mitchell, and I'm said his name, Mitchell, quote, the lying piece of trash, end quote, is here, right? And then whatever he responds with, it's, well, what does that have to do with the fact that Mitchell is a lying piece of trash? It's a characterization of what the being embodies, and the fact that he sometimes presents in a different way. And again, speaking only for me, none of this has to do with Bex unless she decides that it does. I'm just talking about a thing here, but regardless of the times the person is on their best behavior and is amenable and can appear to be reasonable, I now realize that person is always inside. They're the person who will lie and just do many, many horrible things, in my view. So that is how I would characterize. That is what that person embodies. And I would say, if I was to describe that person in one phrase or sentence, it would be a lying piece of garbage. I mean, it is what it is. And he's lied about me repeatedly, and he knows he's lying about me, and he continues to do it. So it's my own humanity and my own, attempting to connect with someone on a human level that's actually being weaponized against me. And so finally, Bex, the light bulb's gone off. But anyway, it's a shame.
It is a shame. I've been in a similar situation a couple of times out here. So where I am, it's my humanity being weaponized against me. I was thinking about it recently. I'm one of the most accountable people I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had multiple community posts literally calling people to come work things out with me. Like, that's all I've done out here, And yet I have someone I had since the moment I met that person, It's kind of like the things you go through to experience YouTube, right? That end up becoming quite personal and involving a lot of your personal energy that people somehow tell you to be detached from because it's all just YouTube. But on the same note, like, I'm a human being experiencing, just a human desire to be out here dealing with my own social isolation. And for some reason I had to, I'm grateful for my experience turning out okay. But like you said, with duplicitous people, I'm hesitant to say anything at all, specifically in this scenario, given my own experiences. Right?
Yes.
But on the same note, I have another situation. I've had another situation that also, shows where that same, it's a similar sort of aspect of my humanity is being exploited, asking to be accountable to a third party by multiple people who are totally not involved. And yet I've done nothing but display accountability. So,
yes.
But it's good. It's good to learn these mantras. I was thinking of making a banner about it. Like the host of this show will not help people wallow in limbo. Also she will not seek resolution with duplicitous people.
Yeah. And yeah, I love that. And, the reality is, again, my own good nature, and good faith efforts actually being weaponized against me. And it's funny because I can come on here and speak intelligently on certain topics, but I also have blind spots, right? The fact that I am introspective, I can observe my internal space. That doesn't mean that I see everything about myself, right? So but I needed somebody like Dick to just break it down and verbalize it, and I'm like, yes, of course.
Yeah.
So the real person is the lying piece that's the essence of the being. Then the best behavior and the behaving as if that person is willing to engage in a give and take, that's the lying part, right? And the other parts are also lying, but that is a lie, I should say. And I can't get on the same page with a person who lies and chronically, right? Who does this as it just, and I know I'm sort of belaboring the point, but it's just not possible in the long run. And so here I am, crazy and dumb enough to have attempted this for such an extended period of time, right? Like, what's wrong with me, that I would continue to do that? And I needed a freedom grower. I needed to hear it. I needed him to verbalize something that I've most likely known all along, right? And finally go, oh yes, of course. Look how silly I am. What is wrong with me? You know, and I'm asking that rhetorically, obviously, but yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
I wonder if it's a frequency thing. You know, something that I know I know it's happened to me my whole life. And as we talk about this conversation, this specific scenario, I wonder if it really is true that the people that are like that, they just believe themselves so wholeheartedly. They've been doing it so long that that's their reality, right? Like whatever the narrative of the day or month or week or month is, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a little.
I just wonder if people.
Well, I like where you're going, but I think with this particular person, I've got my own. I feel like I assessed it pretty well earlier, and I'll get into that in a minute. But I just wanted to throw that out there. So, but I like where you're going. So, if you could continue cooking, I'd appreciate it. Hopefully, these interruptions don't sidetrack you. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm drawing the analogy out to like my stepmother and my father in my mind, just because there is such a huge family dynamic that. You know, I just can't imagine people perpetuating such lies for so long, you know, but the triangulation becomes so ingrained in the family dynamic because it's such a big family that I just think stories perpetuate themselves. Like, so in a big group setting like that, yeah, I think, you know, it's hard to, I just assume from the macro down to the micro that people's perceptions can literally be their, you know, what's going on. And it just depends on how their brain works, you know? Like people think I have a pretty fast brain when in fact my brain is calmer than it's ever been.
Same with me, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not agree more.
So I wonder if other people have a lot of
and
chaos.
I would say,
Go ahead.
Chaos, and sorry to cut you off. I don't think it's possible to do hours and hours and hours and hours of live streaming with a too busy of a mind. You know, I think the organization and the ability to convey one's thoughts specifically comes from, you know, a quieting of the mind. That's just the way I see it.
Yes. Well, and I think they probably feed into each other totally in that, you know, it's soothing to the mind to have focus and yeah, to do all the things to, you know, make your broadcast better, to engage. There's lots of things going on too on YouTube. Like you can engage with your live chat. You can engage with a guest. You can do your own thing, you know, and like I've said before, like hats off to all the different things you do here.
Well,
I know I said do.
Yeah, do. Well, and I have said several times that, you know, please don't direct your medical, you know, your supplement advice to me, but please talk about it in the chat. Well, the reality is I now have to put up a banner that says, please do not discuss health and supplements. We just can't talk about it. It's just sad. But
isn't that amazing? Like, isn't that amazing?
Can't talk about it.
Like, we can probably not even hardly talk about not talking about it.
Well, and again, I'm pretty sure the damage is done, Bex, because I don't think I'm going to delete my content at this point. And for the way I understand it is, it doesn't even matter. I've been led to believe if I delete the content, I can still get struck. That was my understanding. Now, people can't still report it anymore, but if it's already been mass reported, I don't think it matters if I delete it now. That's kind of fucked up.
It's too bad you can't defend yourself with your own, like, cuts from your own videos, because like you have so many times where you're telling people, don't give me advice, I won't take it, I do my research myself, you know, this is not advice. Like I would say for all the times that you might have missed saying something like that, like there's, you know, 100 times to each one, you're pretty clear.
Yeah, well, I want to say this, and I deleted Peck Beck's comment, and thank you for being here, Peck Beck. And the only thing I can say is just at this time, most likely the channel's at a minimum about to receive a strike and a 1 week suspension for medical misinformation. That's probably about to happen. So that you just came in at the wrong time. That's all that was. And yes, for what you said, I'm aware. Thank you for letting me know. But unfortunately, we just can't talk about it at all. But as far as your point, Bex, I think if you read the letter of the community guidelines, especially based on this training that I just took, I think technically speaking, I did probably, you know, I don't want to admit to something, but based on my understanding of the guidelines, I don't think I could defend myself.
Yeah.
Even if given a fair trial, all right. Which is it's on me to. Well, part of that is I never bothered to read the guidelines in the first place. But please go ahead.
When they change guidelines, do we know if things are grandfathered in, or do they expect people to go back over their content? And
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. So they could change a rule today.
So, but everything we're going through, and I just want to say this because I'm reading Sterling Ray's comment. This is why I think it's a person who has a ton of accounts, by the way. I think it's a person mass flagging the streams. I think that's what it is. Because if it was just randomly, the algorithm, I don't think it would be happening this way. So, because now they're talking about Santos, talking about this, that, and the third. But yeah. And then presumably he makes YouTube way more money than I do. But as we can see, YouTube had basically no problem with anything I've been saying up until very recently. Right. So I don't think that's a coincidence, because the first stream I got a warning from is from like at least a month, at least 6 weeks ago, I'm thinking. So yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of hypocrisies. A lot of different capabilities depending on, I don't know what their variables would be, but there's like that comment, like Sterling Ray said.
Yeah. That's just the reality is some people can just get away with stuff. Not that they're getting away with anything, and who knows, maybe he fucking breaks his foot off in their ass every time they try to fuck with him. I mean, the reality is I'm not willing to put a lot of energy into fighting YouTube. I'm just not. That's just me.
Yeah.
So
I hear that.
Yeah. So I may pop back up on my own website here pretty soon, but I'm going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. And I don't mean, it's funny because when I get sort of upset, or not even upset, I get filled with like, I'll show you, So my intention was to just more or less stream 24 hours a day, except maybe 3 to 6 hours of sleep. But, I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I'm certainly riding this thing till the wheels fall off, in that if for some miracle I'm still here at the 28th of the month, I'm probably going to ride off into the sunset, at least as far as this type of live streaming all day, every day. So I might as well enjoy it while I can, Bex. That's the way I look at it. It's not I don't lament the potential demise of the channel, or even if it's only a 1 week ban, and then I contact the support and I'm like, hey, what if I fucking get rid of all this content? Do I have a chance of just moving forward, right? And if they're like, yeah, just do that, then that's a different story, right? But, if I make it to the 27th, 28th, and have managed to do live streams the whole time, I might just decide to quit while I'm ahead, at least, in the present form of content creation. Because like I said, I don't have to be doing this. And what I mean by this is I don't have to be using my creative abilities in this exact way. I can absolutely do other things, which is, I'm sure you can as well, which is a nice thing. Well, I know you can, which is a nice thing about being a so-called creative type, right? I enjoy that very much. There's other things I can do.
True that. Yep. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that you'd say that.
Yeah, I have. Well, real quick, I'm reading your comments, Tribe, and I'm sure I agree with what you're saying. It's just I have a lot to learn when it comes to YouTube specifically. So if you're the man that can help me, I'm certainly willing to listen to anything you could, any knowledge you could send my way. I would certainly appreciate it, Tribe, and thanks for being here. But please go ahead, Bex.
No, I was wondering, I don't know but I was wondering, since he had such an impact on me, that's why I would bring him up. I haven't seen Carl around lately.
Yeah, Carl kind of, he comes and goes. This is not unusual for him to be gone this long. He's probably found somebody else. This is just what I suppose happens with Carl, is that he gets, I don't know what it is, but he will take an interest in a content creator, it seems. And have you heard of this Kiwi Farms? Are you familiar with this at all? If not, it's completely fine. Okay, so Kiwi Farms apparently is a message board of folks who like to talk about various lol cows, LOL cows, which I think is how Carl originally found Truther Cop. So these people are always looking for persons like me or you or Truther Cop who might be easily trolled, right? So I'm pretty sure Carl found out about me through Truther Cop, and then Truther Cop warned me, hey, there's these trolls from Kiwi Farms, Carl and these other guys, they're headed your way. And then I, have already had some practice and some experience dealing with especially text trolling, although not perfectly, as we see. I am trollable at times, but so I was basically able to win him over pretty quickly as far as I can tell. So he mostly leaves me alone, but he gives me the business at times too, right? So what I think happens is he's probably doing other things in his life, or he's found somebody else to direct his attention at for now. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I was missing him too. What's up says he misses his triggering comments.
Yeah, I miss Carl, but he'll be back most likely. Will we be here is the question. And if my channel gets nuked, you're probably next on. I'm not trying to wish this on you, but I'm assuming you might be
of course.
next on the list, especially if you start hosting me over there, more, which, that would be a natural thing in the short term. Especially if I'm trying to promote my, I would have a couple of days to get the website back online, and then I would be most likely making the rounds to put the word out.
I'd be happy to help.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd be happy to help.
Put the word out. Yeah.
I was reframing how I'm approaching YouTube for a while anyway, just to have a little more balance. And excuse me, I love the long streams, you know me, but I've never tried shorter, more focused ones. So I just thought I would work on that skill for a while.
Well, and sorry to cut you off. I feel like I've developed that through my podcast. So I feel comfortable in the shorter format personally. So I see where you're going with that. Yeah, that's certainly an important talent to develop. I would recommend, not that you asked, but I'll tell you what I typically do is if I'm going to keep it that short, generally I would speak mostly from an outline. I would at least have an actual outline, written outline to work from typically.
Yeah. Just like I'd take up for comedy sets.
Yeah, there you go. You already know what to do. Yeah, you already know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the thing I was going to say. I do only have 2 months doing this. So, but then I just said I do have lots of experience with like 3-minute sound bites, making 3-minute sound bites. So a 20-minute sound bite's like a gift in a comedy show. Not that I'm trying to do comedy, just in case people were coming to see me. I'm not necessarily attempting. It's not a comedy set, what I do on YouTube.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, but interesting, there's a whole huge, way bigger metaverse than YouTube makes the metaverse be.
That's
actually,
true,
it's
yes.
huge out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, vast, ever expanding, just like outer space.
Well, and I want to say this: if I end up on my own website, even if it's only even if it's pre-recorded MP3 files like I did before, these people we're talking about can't touch me there. There's literally nothing they can do to me. I mean, think about that. And I mean nothing. As long as I don't say things that would cause the FBI to come asking me questions, there's not a fucking thing they can do, which I do like that part of it, right? And, I didn't, and this is what happened with Drew when I first was going on Drew's channel. When I very first launched my podcast on my website, I don't know what I had done or said, but something had happened. I think it's when we first started going in on Matt Quantum of Conscience, and I was one of the first ones to do that, probably the one who got the ball rolling. And so Drew's like, well, they're going to be in your comments. I said, no, they're not. They're going to be in your comments. I said, I don't have comments. The website had there was nothing anybody could do but email me. And you know what's interesting, Bex? Never got one. I never got one negative email. You know why? Because the people who want to type a shitty comment, they want to see their shitty comment, and they want to see me react to their shitty comment, and they want to see how other people take that in. There's nothing in it for them to send me a shitty email. Never got a single one. I got a lot of positive a lot of positive emails. Never got one negative email. Yeah.
I so appreciate that text that text analogy to actually like witnessing social behavior based on the same kind of trolling, sort of duplicitous nature of some people, right? And who they'll attract based on that. Who wants to hop on board with that? Sort of like who would get on the side of a troll in chat or whatever. It's, you know, it is fascinating. Like,
yes,
human behavior.
Absolutely, yeah. And go ahead, but let me real quick, and I'll pass it back. I just have a lot of experience with the text and as far as typing because of message boards and all of these things. I just have a lot of experience with it. Doesn't mean I don't get triggered, but you know, I'm up here talking. You could see how I handled it the other day when, you know, I had done the 36 hours. That was a different thing I was doing, you know, and I felt like I felt like I dealt with it very effectively, and I was, you know, it did flood your chat and probably annoyed some people, and you know. It maybe went on a little too long, but eventually you could see I'm fairly easily able to carry the day because that person does not have my level of experience and cannot match me in that arena. Just can't.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting. And few can. I'm not trying to brag. Few can. Carl certainly can. Certainly is able to. But yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate that, you know, just knowing you and the way you talk about your experience on bulletin boards and, you know, since 1994 on the internet, it's like I do extrapolate a lot of information from it. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've had to have my own experiences to learn it, and still, you know, it's like any other lesson. You can think you've learned something from someone, you know, but, you know, again, until it's sort of applied sometimes.
Hey, could you hold it down for about 5 minutes? I need to throw my food in the slow cooker real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Sure.
It doesn't take long, but thanks. If I don't do it now, it's not going to happen.
Okay. Enjoy. What shall we talk about? See what's going on. It's a lazy, rainy day here too, Michael. Super, super lazy. It's nice here on the West Coast. People think it rains a lot come winter time, and it does on the mainland. But on this island, we really get a lot of like rain in the nighttime. You wake up to a nice, fresh start of the day, and then it's just a cloudy day. It's my favorite. I love the fall. We won't talk weather for long, though. I do understand. I do understand, friends. Yeah, it was really nice to get out yesterday. I guess I sunned my eyeballs. I may not have looked like off to the side of the sun the way you're supposed to, but it's beautiful out there. Beautiful. Doing a 1,000-step challenge. 1,000-step challenge, but I used to walk 10,000 steps a day at my job. 1,000 steps is easy. Easy. Funny, put on the spot. What do I talk about? Been talking about metaversal stuff for so long. Did an interruption. I know what I can tell you guys about. Watching a series on Netflix. I know you're not a big moviegoers, but it's like a longer version of The Room. It's kind of like, it's tragic. Tragic, but get caught up in that psychological thriller trying to figure out who done it. So I've taken also a technological break from YouTube a little and immersed myself in Netflix. So that's nice. Maybe that's why my brain's on a little bit of an interruption here, friends. Usually I can just go, go, go. I played around with the YouTube lives versus StreamYards. I've never done that. I don't know why it feels different. It feels like, I guess it feels like you're not in my living room. People aren't in my room. I'm in YouTube on a YouTube live, whereas I'm inviting people into my space, different kind of chat, not MySpace like the old Facebook, but you know, it's interesting. I was out in the world, did a couple YouTube lives yesterday, and for some reason that feels more like instantaneous and yeah, like I'm out showing you, like, yeah, it felt like I was boots on the ground. I'm going to do more of that. I know, Sterling Ray. How does one escape the hologram? I don't even know if it is a hologram. biomagnetic, alchemical, physical, all of those things. Way more than they reduced us to in the human anatomy and physiology. Way more. It's fascinating. Just as we were talking about the vastness of the internet, like just the whole of the internet, all of the things, all of the zeros and ones of all the everything, I was comparing it to the human brain. And I've heard people, I've had a great conversation with Freedom Grower actually about when he called himself a pea brain, he related it to the size of the universe. Like it made me realize even with my own jumping on people for referring to their brain as beady, when my own brain was not at its optimum. I still like that Freedom Grower's analogy was to sort of compare the size of a human brain to the vastness of the everything. And yet, as we were talking about the internet and how vast it is, I was comparing it to the inside of a person's mind, and I thought, fuck, that internet ain't got nothing on our minds, Now, I'm not saying I have the capability of keeping it all organized like the internet does with 0 and 1s, but that's the beauty of a human being having access to the internet. It just takes the stress off the mind holding on to all of that. And you're back to a mind being more capable than the internet. I don't know, maybe I'm putting too much on it, but back to you, Benton.
Yeah, I love that. And I only caught the tail end, obviously, but it's funny. I feel like I had a decent idea of where you've been, right? Where have you been, Bex?
Thank you.
Where did you go? Where did you sleep last night, Bex? Yeah, I don't mean that, but it's just
yeah.
Yeah. See, look, I see the chat already. Let's see. Mitchell is a lying piece of trash. Mitchell, the lying piece of trash is here, and that's over at Paul's chat. So yeah, he loves it. Part of him loves it. I'm sure. He enjoys it. But yeah, Paul's going live in a bit. I might end up. We'll see what happens over here. I like to be done by at least 3 p.m. my time, so like less than 2 hours. Because I found, I don't know if you're on your phone, which I'm assuming has some version of a blue light filter. I'm guessing. I feel like I've asked you this before.
I hope so.
Well,
maybe
it's usually not enabled by default, but I've found that the blue light definitely affects my sleep. So I do my best to get off of these screens, a couple of hours before bedtime if possible. So we'll see. I might push on through though. We'll see what happens, Bex. I'm feeling froggy, as my people like to say. Feeling froggy, although I never quite knew what that was intended to mean. But that means I'm sort of feeling like doing more than normal here. Especially since my time may be limited. And I'm losing my ability to multitask. So, okay, finally. Yeah, Paul's live soon. Yeah.
Cool.
I see, yeah, exactly. Mitchell's already in Paul's live chat complaining about me. That's right. I'd have it no other way. Do your worst, Mitchell. Do your worst. And please, everybody, feel free to check out Mr. Unslaved. I'm sure many of you will. And Ms. Beck shows up on the panel over there. I used to. I haven't been around as much lately. Maybe I should go up there so Mitchell can go up and I can say that he's a lying piece of trash. Yeah.
Well, only time will tell.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like I'm hoping that chapter is closed for me. Hence my silence.
What do you mean going
but
on
it's
Paul?
Interesting.
You mean going on Paul's or having to deal with Mitchell?
No, not on Paul's at all. I mean, interact. Good. Thank you for asking for clarification.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Not at all. Not that. Just more in terms of having personal strife with Mitchell.
Yes.
Right. So I feel like we closed that chapter, and
probably did.
It's interesting how.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. But also, it's. I hope so. But I've also seen that he does seem to have a bit of a pattern there. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I wouldn't. That's the part where it's like you see where we end up policing each other. Well, at least I'm allowing my experience with him to censor my freedom, my own, usual more freedom of speech, just because I don't want to be in the situation where I'm the focus of his attention again.
I understand, and you know, and you know, I'm reading the live chat over at Paul's, as people can see what I'm doing on the screen here, but you know, the reality is, I've drawn my line in the sand, and I'm just sticking to what I'm doing. I will not deviate from this. I'll make a cute comment here and there, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same. It's just the same thing over and over again. I'm going to have to get a spam warning to stop this. It's just going to be the same thing over and over and over, no matter what he says. And there's no way out right now. The only thing that will actually cause this to succeed is if other people start doing it also. So, you know, I will. The only way I can win this war is I must spread the word, right? So, yeah. It's just it's already happening, and it's glorious. Yeah. But the mistake, if anybody wants to know how to do this strategy, the mistake would be, as a human, when I read this part of the comment that says, you know, he's attempting to, and this is the lie, by the way, he's attempting to characterize me in a way that's just not true, right? But so I can only lose if I address the actual issues that he's raising, because the fact is, people who've been listening to the channel know exactly what's happened, right? And the fact is, I'm not the things that Mitchell is. So as long as I continue to bring the focus back to him and what he is, I can't lose. And he will absolutely go underground if people other than me take up this strategy. And again, I'm not telling folks what to do. I'm saying if y'all don't want to have to deal with Mitchell, this is a way to get him to fuck off and not come back for a while. Is to just continue to hammer this no matter what he says. And if multiple people start doing this, it's a fucking wrap. If every single time he shows up in a live chat, somebody immediately types, hey, Mitchell, quote, the lying piece of trash is here. And then whatever he says, what does that have to do with the fact that Mitchell's a lying piece of trash? That's it. That's it. It's done. And I know I sound like I'm repeating myself, and I am. It's that simple. But what I predict, Bex, is that certain people, because of what's been weaponized against me, a.k.a. or i.e. rather, my own humanity, that's other people are going to see this as, you know, Mitchell being mistreated, and they, you know, are going to feel some type of way about it, right? But I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Oh, I got fire.
Yeah,
emojis.
I just don't. I guess that's the problem with the metaverse being actually big enough to not be everyone be in touch with everybody else's experiences all the time, right?
Correct.
Like, you know, I know what it's like to be followed around for 2 weeks or more. You know, I'm not necessarily keeping track of time, attempting resolution with someone I've never met, and taking the best of every conversation we've had, and trying to learn from it, and show the community that I'm you know, that I hear this person, and, you know, yet how many people see that, right? So, you know, when the energy was directed towards Freedom Grower, I was like hoping that, because I know he's such a sound, he's very good listener, very good at getting to the point, succinct speak, you know, he's just I really appreciate Freedom Grower in this community. So I thought maybe, but I also, you know, I knew the background behind that too. It was also a whole big thing that, you know, started that was started at that, you know, by Mitch, right? So my point is I was relieved the energy was off me, and we, you know, like, not to want that, to wish that on anyone else, but, you know, 2 weeks straight barrage, it was like, you know, I'm just out here to deal with my social isolation too, right?
Yes.
Like, just here to share my experiences, not become like the queen of the prom or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know?
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I guess all I can say
Go ahead. Sorry. Yep.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just setting up.
Please.
I'm going to screen record the chat because I can already see this is going to be fun. So I'm actually setting up to screen record just the live chat on Paul's. So that's what I'm doing right now. But all right, I'm done. Yep. But yeah, it's fascinating dynamics, certainly. Oh, wait a minute. Is this even working?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, show recording area. Okay.
But it's good to be able to observe my own behavior. In Facebook, in 2021, I took my Facebook from sort of being a place where I knew everyone I knew had been, people I'd met in person were sort of people that were on my page, and then I went from
sorry to do
from
this.
that to
hey, real quick, Beck. Sorry about that. So people are saying I just block him. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be a dick. Y'all aren't doing hours and hours and hours of live streams. I can't block endless numbers of sock accounts on my phone while I do a broadcast. It's just not possible. It diverts too much of my attention. So he has defeated me at the level of a war of attrition or a battle, right? He's actually beaten me in a certain way in that there's really no point in blocking most of his accounts because half the broadcast is just me sitting here on my phone blocking. So for you folks, it's very easy to do that. For me, he's never going to stop, and I'm trying to do a broadcast. So just please understand it's a very different thing. But I'm glad y'all are able to just block, have his 100 accounts blocked. But that's not going to work for what I'm doing, and he's going to continue to make new ones no matter what. See, it's basically pointless for me to do it. But I understand that
and it
works for them.
It can be disadvantageous too because then you couldn't screen record this live chat.
Oh man, how many are here, by the way?
Yeah,
we might need
44.
To wrap up. Yeah, we might need to wrap up. Oh man, well we're going. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up very soon, actually.
All right.
Yeah, we're not going to be here much longer.
I was just going to say that's one disadvantage to blocking people is you actually can't see conversations they have elsewhere either, And I'd rather see what's going on personally.
Oh, you want to see what they're saying, you mean?
Well, yeah, I'd rather know than not know what conversations are being had, and it blinds you to to people everywhere. So
that's a good point. Yeah, I think for the broadcaster, it's a very different thing than for the people who are in the chat. It's just again not trying to be an asshole to anybody, but it is what it is.
I hear that.
Yep.
Well, it's perfect timing for me. I've actually made a noon deadline. It's 11:30 here, and my goal is to be up and at 'em and out doing something between noon and 1 every day. I'm someone who I usually start my day getting shit done like that when I'm on a roll. I'll always do my errands first thing in the morning. But having varied interests and desires in my life now, I've just had to change that rule for myself and been okay, just set a different time of day to start those tasks. The last couple of days have been great. It's been helpful, breaking bread with a neighbor.
Yeah.
Helpful too that I made so much chicken soup because that's what we had last night as well. Delish.
Well, and getting out into the, at least getting out of the metaverse that's always a good thing, right? In fact, that's how I got my internet, is that I finally left the metaverse and did not my understanding was that the service wasn't available in this area. Well, I just happened to be wandering by the T-Mobile, and that's how I ended up with this internet, right? So there's a lot of potential upsides to actually just leaving the fucking house, right? Although we don't necessarily know what that looks like, but I'm trying to rearrange. I'm trying to arrange this timer right now, where people can see what's going on. Now I'm just going to tell everybody I might start another stream if I feel like it. I might do a solo icon audio only stream if I still feel like talking. But I'm absolutely wrapping this thing up.
Nice.
Yeah, by the time this ends. Hang on, I think
so instead of a walk and talk, you'll do a sit and chat.
Yeah, I guess we could call it that. I think I'm done with the walk and talk because of just running into so many weirdos. I think I'm finally just had enough of the weirdos.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's, you know, another thing to have you on high alert, right? It's probably why you've picked that place, you know, where you do usually sit. But
Yeah,
still,
I mean,
like,
I could still go
you
there.
gotta be-
Yeah, and I do this thing where I tend to overcorrect. I could still go there, certainly. So I might do that.
Yeah.
The fact is, people enjoy those, but they don't get a lot of views, really, realistically. But which is
Yeah.
okay. But I don't know. We'll see. I know certain folks enjoy it. Maybe you're one of those people. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that is a good place because I can at least, you know, see what's coming at me, you know, physically. So yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever find out of the blue here, did you ever find your other water bottle?
I did. It was in my car. And it's funny. I just thought about it and I said, well, it's definitely not in this room. So where could it be? And I was like, oh, I moved my car because they're doing, there's dump trucks in and out of this place all day, every day for a time. And my car was getting very dirty. So I washed my car and I parked it around front. So in the process of doing that, I guess I had my water bottle with me. Although I'm not supposed to leave. Why I left with it in my hand, I have no idea. It was an empty water bottle. I had my smaller one in my backpack, so it's probably just absent-mindedly, and then I left it in the car. So I was like, wait, I forgot. I thought about it, and I was like, well, it's got to be in the car. It's the only place it could be, and of course it was. It's funny how if we really, you know, eventually we will figure out where we've left our items, right? Seems like we will.
Yes.
Just maybe not right
Yeah, it was
away.
bothering me because I thought you'd left it on the bench that day.
Yeah, but I never take.
yeah.
I never take it there because I take the smaller ones. So,
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Funny.
I see. Not that it was really bothering me.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
it's
wrong
just
word.
it's like a mystery.
It was one of those.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Yeah. But you know, if that's something that's some people would say, oh, what kind of weird brain is trivial, you know, worries about someone else's trivial something, when in fact I think my brain likes to anchor on tiny, you know, tiny little mysteries like that. I think it's a blessed life when that's a minor, you know, or maybe it's a denial life you're living in when those are the little tiny ponderings that come back to your mind. Stories unfinished.
Sorry, I keep tuning out. The problem is I'm a little too focused on the
That's all right.
the metaversal war, but yeah.
Well, I can also hop off and let you finish up on your own.
Yeah,
No problem
I
at all.
don't know. It's either way. I know. Thank you for that. I'm thinking quite possibly I'm going to end up going solo icon, but I do have some. You know, I never got around to making many more sound clips today. I got one of you though, if you'd like to. Well, yeah, you can't hear it. That's the bad part of having you up here.
I'll wait for the surprise.
Okay, good. Good.
I'll wait for the surprise.
Yeah, there's going to be several. I think you're going to I think you'll like them.
Yeah. I don't know. Part of me was like, you know, I might end up sending you better ones. I mean, I know it's your own artistic creativity, but I might find some good ones where I'm like, you might like this rant I went off here. There might be some good ones.
Yeah, and I would like to hear it, you know, no matter I would obviously like to hear it, but you know, those might be more useful as like, hey, you know, I'm going to take a break. Here's Bex ranting for 15 minutes or whatever. You know? 'Cause we played your entire I played your entire whatever I forget what you call it, stand and talk. Was that it?
Oh, did you?
I played the second one. I
Nice.
played the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
I went and took a break.
Oh, the meme.
I still don't know what you said,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize they were both still up. I thought I had downloaded the second one. I was looking under live. Were they under videos? Somehow I missed them.
Yeah, they end up being uploaded for some reason. That's
Okay.
just how YouTube does it. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but that's how they work. So now I have videos, right?
Well, wait a minute. Did you?
But I don't know.
Wait a minute. You recorded it on your phone and then uploaded it, I guess.
No, I just did a YouTube live and then hit the end button, and that's how it ends up.
That's strange. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I just didn't know
Yeah.
it did that. I had no idea. Huh.
I don't know if I have some sort of settings turned off different. I mean, again, it's just a first time, but it really feels different. Like, I guess if I did a live in my house, but then I would have it pointing at me and not an icon, right? So that's why I think it feels more like I'm in YouTube than YouTube's in my living room. You know, it has a totally different feel to it.
Yeah, that's
So,
interesting.
Yeah. Because I have to point the camera at something, and I just don't love showing my face. Like, I've done it a few times, and it's just, and I think it's very brave of me. I've done it multiple times, like over the last 6 months. Doesn't really matter, but I prefer not to.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I get that, and yeah, I mean, as far as brave, I mean, I don't know. I guess. I mean,
Or dumb?
no, I don't think so. In fact, I just happened to see one of the first times you showed your face, and that's why I was like, okay, well, clearly this is not the person that we thought it was, because there was some confusion that you might actually be another person. So, in fact, if you hadn't shown your face, probably me and you wouldn't be this far along into whatever this is. Creative collaboration. I would like to think.
Exactly. Creative
metaversal
collaboration.
Metaversal friendship, perhaps.
Yeah.
So yeah, that may not have actually happened. So I'm glad you did. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just different than other people. I don't find anything. I don't find anything to make fun of or, feel some type of way with the way you appear. I mean, that's just me.
Well, I appreciate that. And I know I never really was worried about that, even though that I do have some, whatever body criticisms or, discomforts. Ultimately, for me, it's more just that I get overstimulated with all the extra stimuli and just learning to focus my mind and on everything else. When I'm looking at my face or seeing my hair, it's just one more thing that that it's just I'll level up on that when I get all my equipment and can do a camera from an angle that allows me to feel more comfortable. I am a very expressive person, so I do think it would add a dynamic to everything to just to get comfortable with that. I'm always challenging myself. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And,
but I do.
Yeah. Well, and
and I would just say this.
Well, no,
you go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when it comes to the beauty of actually knowing when you've shown yourself, and that people can reduce insults to something about how I look, that's the beauty of of actually doing it, because it actually exposes other people's shallow nature and reinforces for myself that I'm not nearly as shallow as I thought, or as vain as I thought, wanting to be young or beautiful or anything like that. It's just, that's a perpetual state of being my whole life, is to be hypercritical of, being in the body or whatever, so it's actually, it's great opportunity to see how people, if that's the deepest insult someone can come up with, like weight or age or beauty, it's just says more about the person insulting someone based on that than the person being insulted.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And it's for me, I know that, I'm one of the strange people. I just watch myself, and it's not, I think I'm good looking. It's not, has anything to do with it. I've never met a mirror I didn't like, but it's not like, look at me. I just like to look at myself. Whether or not that's good, bad, or indifferent, it is what it is. Right. So if I'm on the screen, if I'm not doing something specific, I'm looking at me. So when I'm on a panel, I'm not looking at anybody but me. And I mean the entire time. So, whatever that says about me, that's what I do. So, it just is what it is.
I used to be, I definitely used to love, that's where it comes back down to that insecurity being a form of vanity on the reverse, right? Like, it really is. When I'm fit and feeling good, I could just stand in front of the mirror all day and talk to myself. I'm exaggerating. But that really, what it comes down to is you realize about the people that don't do that. And then you start seeing yourself through their eyes. And most people do see the best in people, like that are looking for qualities like the glint in an eye, or, the facial expressions as one expresses themselves. Like, I think there's a lot of people are not looking at people through a physically critical eye. They're looking for human connection.
Maybe because I lived in the streets for so long, I'm not expecting a certain presentment out of people. I've been around so many different people in my life. Like, I'm not expecting a certain thing based on how somebody talks or their, what they do for a living or, I'm not really prejudging.
Exactly.
I had no idea what you may or may not look at like. Who knows? And it's like, okay, that's what she looks like. It's not, it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say, but I think I'm maybe, in my lesser evolved state, I was probably more like people who just sort of expected a certain thing. And it's like, okay, well, and when whatever it doesn't meet up with my expectation. I think that's the issue for a lot of times. Or a big part of it.
Well, and I don't know if this happened as a trend anywhere else, but over here on the West Coast, there was a point, I guess, just before yoga pants, and when some sort of leggings had come in, where people got to the point of all classes dropping their kids off, picking them up in pajama bottoms, if you could. Leisure wear became a thing. So, and I think at that point there was a crossover of different people of different demographic backgrounds, maybe having more acceptance of just being comfortable. And now some people could call that lazy.
Well, but see, I think it's more than just being comfortable. It's intentionally showing off the buttocks. I mean, let's call it what it is. Because I don't know if you know this, they wore leggings when I was a teenager in Arkansas, but never without a long sweater or long shirt covering up the rear end.
It's true. I remember that style. I'm only a few years older.
Yep.
I remember the stirrup pants were pretty tight. They weren't quite skin tight on everyone, but they were, form-fitting enough. And the leggings and the long kind of shirts, but not long enough to be a dress. Side belts. Rat tails. No, I'm exaggerating.
Well, and since we're about to get out of here, I did see a comment that if I don't respond to it now, I'm just going to end up, because What's Up has been providing a lot of a lot of clarity, and he says, Mitch trying to police peeps is disturbing to some extent, as he never really brings any type of value anywhere when he actually could. And see, this is where I got, Bex, and I think maybe this might have been a frustration of yours potentially, but I was treating Mitchell based on he does have some knowledge that I viewed as valuable, but I've now come to understand it's not valuable. He's not adding. He's able to add to a conversation in a certain kind of way, but he's not actually contributing anything that's helping anybody. He's just not. That's just the facts. So, but this thing about policing people, and I actually gave what I feel like was a pretty decent breakdown of how I feel like his psychology is operating, and I bring it back to this idea of Bill Cosby with the irreverent sweaters and the funny facial expressions and the dancing, and the being irreverent. Is that what is he covering up? And the same thing with Mitchell, as far as I'm concerned, is all this focus on holding people accountable. It's an externalization of something he's not able to do. He's not able to hold himself accountable. If he was, he would come on and say, hey man, I really fucking spurged out last night, and I'm working on it. It's embarrassing. I've done many versions of this where I've just straight up apologized to multiple people. When's he ever apologized for anything? I don't think you can ever find one instance where he's taken any sort of accountability for anything he's done or said. I don't think it's happened even once. So he's clearly. So am I just to believe that he's morally superior and he's morally above reproach and he never commits an error? Bullshit. It's the opposite. And now what I have detected with Mitchell is he does have a, if we think about like some sort of role-playing game, he has a level 100 impregnable defense. Nobody's logic. He does. I can talk about him and how he lives, and him being a grown man with an emotional support animal, and that he's basically a bum. Like, I can correctly, describe him. However, it can never penetrate those defenses, and I think it's because his internal space is in such an upheaval and turmoil. He probably feels so horrible on a minute-to-minute basis that there's just no way to penetrate that emotion with my logic. It just can't ever happen. Whereas there are times when Mitchell is coming at me and it is able to penetrate because he's kind of right, but he's not right across the board. But he kind of has a point some of the time, right? Whereas I can be right on the money and it never gets through what that shell is, which is why that's how I finally figured out the proper strategy, which is just, whatever he says, what's that have to do with the fact that you're a lying piece of trash? And you notice he stopped. Like I have the live chat on the screen here, folks. I know that's hard to read on your phone, but if folks zoom in, you can see that he stopped. It actually stopped him in his tracks. I had to do he did a few laps of, once he saw that I wasn't taking the bait, he just stopped. Which doesn't that further prove that he's only in it to get these low level negative responses from me, right? And Bex, when you say that you hope he's done with you, the fact is whatever he's trying to get, he can't get from you. He's only trying to get this from certain men, such as myself, Paul Enslaved, and Freedom Grower, and I'm sure there's some others who have a sort of, we all sort of have a minimum level of like masculinity, right? That we exhibit. So he's only going to certain folks to get what he feels like he needs to get. And I believe that it is because of that, whatever's going on in his internal space. And yeah, I am going to do the pop psychology and psychoanalysis, but I'm pretty good at it. And presumably has to do with transference. If he can really upset me, then there is some transference occurs, and I'm very good at detecting it as it happens. So anyway, I don't know if you had any response to that. We're going to be wrapping pretty soon, but just to let you know.
No, I hear that.
Yeah. And once Paul gets to going, once enough people have gone over there, I'm probably going to throw up the icon and solo it. If I still have things I feel like I need to get off my chest anyway. I might just go and make more sound clips though. That's possible.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hop down. I'm gonna hop down and throw my boots on and get my paperwork together. And thank you so much for having me. And
oh yeah, thanks for being here.
I'll see you again soon. And
absolutely.
Thanks for the chat. And I'll see you again soon.
Right on.
I'll be listening.
Awesome. Have a good day, Bex.
You too. Bye for now.
And bye-bye. Yeah. For now, certainly. Although we never know, not that I'm promised tomorrow. And I certainly wouldn't want to, I'm not even going to talk about that with respect to other people because God forbid something were to happen, right? But yeah, I'm going to be pressing the button here shortly. In fact, let's just do this. Let's go solo icon style, right? And I will say this: if enough people go over there, maybe I'll just keep this one going. So now it's like, am I not being a man of my word? Am I in trouble for this, right? Can I get away with this and have people go to Paul's broadcast? I don't know. Be interesting to see. How long have I been live? It might be time to shut down anyway. Let me see what we got going here. No, see, I haven't even been live but for 2 hours. So yeah, I might keep this going, but I'm definitely going to yield to the larger broadcast as I like to do, right? Certainly. Although the screen, I guess my screen recording isn't going to bear fruit since Mitchell has stopped his advance, at least for now. But that certainly doesn't represent any winning of a war or anything of that nature. But and the channel is certainly under attack as far as I'm concerned until I see evidence to the contrary. So again, certain folks have emailed me. If you choose to email me, all you need to do is say, "Hey, I'm just so you'll be able to, just for contact info, make a burner email if that's what you need to do." Although, realistically, I don't know that that's too much of an option for folks because now it's like, are they really going to remember to check a burner email just to see if I've emailed them? But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I certainly have no interest in collecting and harvesting your data, but I recognize that even I would. If somebody asks for my email, I would at least stop and say, "No, wait a minute. Why do they want my email?" I'll tell you why I want your email. It's because it's a powerful way to communicate. That's why. And, also maybe go to nightmaredystopia.com, even though there's no website there. Maybe if you make a bookmark or make note of it, there's certainly a possibility. Even if with a 1 week strike, 1 week, hiatus, I might be I might use that time to relaunch the website. And even if that's just me pre-recording and uploading an MP3, well, that's better than nothing now, isn't it? Yeah, I also enjoy the interactive elements of the live stream, certainly. But now, am I going to ASMR you into La La Land here? Let's see what's going on with Mr. Unslaved, and did I ever manage to stop the screen recording? Nope, but now I did. Now I did. And now I'm hypnotizing you so that you will go to Paul Enslaved. Go to proper instruction motivates people. Oh, I know, NJ. He said that. Yeah, he said that pretty quickly. Hell, maybe it did. That would not surprise me, actually. I'm trying to think, what have I gotten through? Cash App and Venmo, I think. It's more than you might think. I think it's, let's see. I'm trying to think if I've spent any of that money. It's about $400, I want to say. So people are generous. I mean, it's just the reality. The reality is, you know, I don't know that I'm meant to earn my living from this, and it's probably a good thing, because if you look at what if I had been able to make a certain amount of money, and now the channel's under attack. So it's probably a blessing that I'm not able to, honestly. And thank you for your generous donations, folks. I mean, I'm going to continue to repeat this. And it means a lot. And it also means a lot to me that you go and support Paul. And, you know, I would like to keep this one going, but probably I'm going to shut it down and then just wait till he gets going, and then I will solo icon it, right? Yeah, so many soap operas on the tubes. That's right, Leslie. And, you know, something I've realized by observing myself is that certainly we do respond to drama. Humans do. Now, some of you respond to it less viscerally, and I'm probably on the higher end of that spectrum, right? Most probably. I wouldn't say that I like drama, although at times it depends on the drama, right? It certainly depends on the drama, but I can certainly say that I respond to much of it. But let's click the button here very shortly and let Mr. Unslaved, let's see what he cooks up for us. I'm sure, you know, I'm a fan, as many know. So, yeah, clicking the button. I might be back. Just keep your eyes open. I might not. No, I promise nothing. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.